In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to adjust the chain tension on your TaoTao DBX1, or probably work on a lot of different pit bikes. But we're going to go ahead and show you what kind of tools we need. We got a 12 and 13 wrench.
And then we have a 17 and a 19 for the axle nut.
Yep, there's just a through bolt. And you don't have to take the bolt out, just loosen it.
Nope, you just loosen it up.
Right now we just put 2 ratchets on it. You could probably get away with a wrench and a socket wrench or an impact or whatever.
Up a little bit just so it's loose, so tight can slide, back and forth.
And you can see the slack here, guys. It's a little bit too much. Remember, on monoshocks, the tension matters when you're sitting on it, so the chain will get tighter.
It was still.
But this is just too loose. It was just way too loose to begin with.
So you loosen your back up first, and then pretty much every pit bike, I should say, has the locking thing with the nut, and then you have the nut here and the threaded bolt that threads into your swing arm. Yep. So basically, just this nut jams it so it can't slide back up, and then this one holds it so the tire can't go any far forward. And this is like these little blocks, they just slide right out when you take the through bolt out.
That's your adjuster limiters.
Yep.
So we're going to have to tighten it. We got to back it out.
First thing you got to do is crack the first one loose.
Yep, well, lock nut.
That's
jam nut.
12.
And I'm sure they're nice and rounded, those Chinese bolts.
Oh, God, yeah.
Got her. But the TaoTao's been holding up pretty good, regardless. We got some nasty bearing noise. I don't know if it's what's going on there, but it's pretty loud. I'll show you guys that in a second. Maybe when we tighten the chain, it'll magically disappear. I'm hoping.
I know that.
Put a stethoscope on the bearing housing right in there, and it was kind of loud. It wasn't coming from the case, and it wasn't coming anywhere else. So might need axle bearings.
So then
thing has what, like 20 hours on it?
Nah, I feel like close 40.
40 hours and it needs axle bearings.
I'd rather seen a lot, dude.
But it gets beat.
Yeah, not the hardest, but yeah. So you basically just want to turn these out
evenly.
Yep. So you do half. I call it like a full half. So you do that.
Go to the other side. Do the same thing. Nice and loose. There's probably a spec for chain tension, but usually I just go with maybe like an inch of slack at the most, maybe 3/4 when you're sitting on it when your weight of the rider has been added, because you definitely do not want to tighten it when no one's on it. You want to set your tightness, tighten everything up, check it to see what it is when you're sitting on the bike, and then if it's too loose or too tight, just go from there. Right now, that tension is actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
I honestly might just go just a smidge more, maybe like a 1/4 turn on each.
Yep.
Just a little bit, because the suspension on the Tao is pretty soft, so it tightens up a lot. And then if you have it super tight, well, then your engine has to get more fatigue, and that bearing around the main output gear is going to take a lot of toll from all that tension.
Oh, yeah. And then once your main output bearing goes...
Oh yeah, time for a new motor, boys. For sure. So then you're going to go ahead and...
So then, final step is pretty much, we'll tighten down the axle nut first, just so it kind of stays in place, more so than not.
And these stands, guys, we're just using an ATV lift.
Yeah, there's a stand, but you want to keep
just a cheap lift. You can put a freaking basket underneath it, wherever. If you guys got to have a motorcycle stand, it'd be nice, dirt bike stand.
Yeah, probably have.
But we have not invested in one yet, so we're using this lift. But it's been working okay.
Snug that a little bit. We'll get our final tighten. These are there, but
it's pretty good tension for being loose. It's going to tighten up, guys, when you get on it.
So then, tighten the front one. You got to hold the back. That was the thing.
Yep, you want to hold the back so it doesn't move. You don't want to lose your adjustment.
I got a nice booger weld right there by what I'm trying to tighten.
Yeah, they must have swing arm welds right where the jam nut goes, so that's what he's talking about. It's kind of a pain to get a wrench in there without rounding off the freaking bolt head or the nut head. I'll show you guys this side. It's exactly the same as what I was showing you over there, just on the other side by the brake caliper. So he's holding it, just turning up the jam nut, tightening it up towards the swing arm. Very simple adjustment, guys. You can always check your alignment of your chain and make sure you got everything even.
Yep, make sure it's running straight.
It's nice to count the number of turns too if you're really precise.
I'll give it one final tight.
And we'll just snug up the axle nut and have him sit on it, and we'll see how tight it is. And if it's too tight, we'll just do a little bit of a readjustment. It's kind of personal preference on that, but there's probably a specification. But these Chinese bikes never come with anything, so.
If you're riding these strictly motocross jumping, you're gonna want to have it a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear a few jumps and she'll loosen up a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna stretch over time too. This is the original chain. We have not changed it yet. I'm sure we'll have to do it in probably another 10 hours.
It's stretched a little bit, you know.
All right, bud. Want to hop her off the stand, and we'll take a quick look at the tension. If you guys have any questions about any modifications done to the towel, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. We'll be gladly show the links and send them to you or whatever you guys want. See that noise, guys? I think that's a bearing in there. We definitely checked it with the stethoscope. So have him sit on it, and it's pretty dang tight, guys.
Pretty dang tight. We'll have to loosen it up a little bit.
It's not terrible. It's got some give. But see, the more he sits down on it, when he's going to pop a wheelie, I mean, he's going to clap his suspension down.
Oh yeah, and then it's just pull strictly back on that main bearing.
So what we're going to do there, guys, is we're going to take it, put it back on the stand, and we'll maybe just go a quarter turn looser. And we'll move it up just a slight bit, and then we'll be perfect. So that's the basic setup for doing a chain adjustment for tension. But as you can hear, that loud clunking noise, it does not sound very good. Probably should get that checked out. I'm sure we'll look up on the forums and see if there's anything on there too, because there's no manuals with these Chinese bikes. They don't have anything information-wise. So
pretty much.
That's basically it. Anything else you want to add for the chain adjustment?
No, just, you know, you have to mess around with it. You know, usually don't get on first try.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. Unless you got them, if you were smart, you'd write like Sharpie marks on there, you know.
Right, on the threads, like where they are, or you count the number of threads too. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but I mean.
Yeah, I think this chain's already stretched its limit, so it probably won't stretch anymore, guys. The first probably 5 hours of riding, it's going to stretch the most.
Oh yeah.
But that's basically it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.
More pit bike videos.